Hello, everybody. Oh. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Creeper Slayer. Welcome to the Trash Panda Army. Today we are, hi everybody. Hello. Today we are doing an ASMR comfy stream. Hold on a sec while I readjust some stuff real quick. Make sure the chat box is on so I can see all of you guys typing to me. Let's see. How's everybody doing today? You guys having a good day? We're having like a comfy ASMR type stream today. Let's see. I'm just adjusting some stuff. Hi, Darth Facetious. Welcome to stream. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a great day. Let's see here. Okay. So, I thought we would start this off by reading some bedtime stories. Some little, nice, wholesome bedtime stories. There's also Ask Me Anything questions going on. If you guys want to ask questions while I'm streaming, feel free to, ask questions, and I'll answer them. But let's just go ahead and start off by reading a book that my mom read to me a lot when I was little for bedtime. It's called Goodnight Moon. I'm gonna put it on the stream real quick here. Hold on a sec. Hi Tasu. Welcome. Hello. Hi Matt. Hello. Welcome to stream today. Let's see. Videos. Right. Here they are. Okay. Let's see. Please. Give me a sec. There it is. Okay, I found it. There we go. Let me adjust that a little bit here on my screen. Let's see here. Hold on. Sorry, I accidentally grabbed the wrong thing. Give me a sec. Just like I want you to, please. This thing is dumb. Sorry guys, this thing is dumb. It's super dumb. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. Okay. It's so quiet. Ha ha ha. Okay, so good night. Excuse me, gotta get my ASMR voice back. Good Night Moon by Margaret Wise Brown. Pictures by Clement Hurd. Wow, this book is 60 years old. I didn't even know that. That's crazy how much time goes by. Oh, let me adjust this a little bit more. We're gonna put that right here. Okay. A little cozy fireplace. We kind of have some fire ambience going on in the background right now, so that fits. Okay. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of. Well, that's cute. Look at the little bun. He's in his bed. Isn't that nice? A picture of the cow jumping over the moon, and there were 3 little bears sitting in their chairs, and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens. That's really cute. Look at the cats. Oh. And a little toy house and a young mouse. Oh, there is a little mouse right there in the background. You can kind of see him. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. Why would you just have a bowl of mush just sitting out like that? It's not very sanitary. You should probably put that away. and a quiet old lady who was whispering, "Hush, hush." Good night, room. Oh, it's nice. Good night, room. I have a question though. Why is there a tiger skin floor on the floor? Did they kill a tiger, like a fellow anthro tiger? Because there's like anthro bunnies. I'm a little concerned, but we're gonna keep going. Sorry. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light, and the red balloon. Why is there a red balloon in your room? Did you go to the carnival today, little bun? Did you have a nice day at the carnival? Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, snocks. Good night, snocks. Sorry. Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Oh, that's a tiny, cute little mouse there. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Oh, there's a nobody there from Kingdom Hearts. And good night, mush. Oh, yeah, better be sure to say good night to your mush before you go to bed. And good night to the old lady whispering, "Hush." Good night, stars. Good night, air. Oh, that's nice. Good night, noises everywhere. Oh, it's very nice and cozy. That's it. That's the end of Good Night, Moon. I have some other bedtime stories, though. Don't you worry. I got them. I got you, fam. We're gonna read some nice good night stories. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? I want to make sure that you can hear me while I read these stories to you. Let me know if you have any issues hearing me. I'm just gonna adjust the screen again real quick here. It sounds like I should be back on bed. Yep, that's the theme today is, bedtime and comfy vibes. Let's see here. There we go. I'm gonna read these ones next. I just found these online. They look cute, so let's read these next. So this one's called Kalista and the Puma. Once there was a girl named Kalista. Her father was a soldier, and after the country in which she was born, Spain, invaded South America, she moved to Argentina with her family. The people who lived in Argentina were angry the Spanish had taken over their land, so they surrounded the camp in which Spanish families were living, hoping to make them leave. Kalista was told not to leave the camp, but she was hungry, so one day she snuck out to find food. As she explored the jungle, she came across a cave where a mother puma had just given birth. Kalista helped the mother puma clean the cubs and found food for her to eat. And somehow, she didn't get eaten by the puma. I don't know how that worked, but okay. One day, the native people found Kalista and she was scared. However, they did not harm her and instead took her back to their village, gave her food, and looked after her. Kalista felt loved and at home and lived there a long while. Then the Spanish soldiers attacked the village, found Kalista, and took her back to the camp. Her father was very angry with her and sent soldiers to tie her to a tree in the jungle as punishment. She was there for days. How is this a nice bedtime story? I'm confused. This was listed as bedtime stories for children, and now I'm very concerned. But let's keep reading. The village people were scared she might die, but they were also scared of the Spanish soldiers. After 3 days, they went to try to rescue Kalista, but feared she would be dead. However, when they got to the trees, Kalista was fine. The Puma Kalista cared for had come back to look after her. The villagers untied Kalista and took her home with them, where she lived a long and happy life. Well, that's nice. It's getting pretty grimdark. Yeah, it was a little grimdark, wasn't it? The Unexpected Rock. Ooh, that's nice Photoshop job you did there. One day, two children were hold on a sec. Sorry, I didn't want to burp in your guys' ear. Excuse me. One day, two children were playing in a stream. When they got out, they were chilly, but the girl saw a soft, mossy area in the sun. "Let's go and sit there," she said. "It will be warm in the sun." The children laid on the moss and soon fell asleep. As the day went on, the rock inched upwards to keep them close to the sun and warm. The children were so comfortable they stayed asleep. At dinner time, the children's family searched everywhere but could not find them. Then the coyote sniffed the ground, followed the children's trail, and said, "They must be on top of this new rock." Antelope was the best jumper, and the family asked him to get the children, but he could only reach a short way up the rock. Grizzly Bear was the best climber, so they asked her to get the children, but she could only reach a little higher than the antelope. All of the animals tried, jackrabbit, raccoon, even mountain lion, but none could reach the children. "Let me try," said the inchworm, and all of the animals laughed. "You are too small," they said. "How could you possibly do that what we couldn't?" But the children's family asked him to try. Slowly, the inchworm passed the points the other animals had reached. Finally, he got to the top of the mountain and woke the children by crawling on their faces. That's cute. And led them down the mountain. That day, the Miwok named the rock Tutakanula in honor of the inchworm, the tiny creature who achieved great things. Oh, that's a cute story. It's cute. The reward. Oh. This is a story that warns against the dangers of being greedy. Oh, let's see here. There once was an emperor named Akbar. He went hunting in the woods, but when it started to get dark, he became lost. A young boy, Mahish, heard the emperor calling for help, went into the jungle, and led him back to the palace. As a reward, the emperor took a ring from his finger and gave it to Mahish. No. No. Bring this ring back to the palace in the morning. Show it to the guards and tell them to let you in," said the emperor. "Then I can reward you for your kindness." Next day, Mahish came back to the palace, showed the ring to the guard, and asked to see the emperor. However, the guard was a greedy man and told Mahish, "I will only let you in if you give me half of your reward." Mahish agreed and went to see the emperor. "I would like 50 lashes as my reward." What? Wait, why would you want 50 lashes? Said Mahish. The emperor tried to talk him out of it, but Mahish insisted. After the 25th lash, Mahish stopped the emperor and explained about the guard. The emperor was very angry with the guard. He went out and gave the guard the remaining 25 lashes and fired him on the spot. Oh, that's messed up. That's messed up. I'm sorry. That's messed up. Why would you do that? That's messed up. Hey, kid. Then the emperor asked Mahish again what he would like as a reward. I promised the guard of half of everything, So I do not want any further reward, Marie said. So instead, the emperor gave Mahish what they changed it to Marish here, but it's Mahish. The emperor gave Mahish's family a new home, and they needed to enjoy a happy life. That's pretty messed up. The only nice one was the inchworm one so far. Mermaid's Ring. This is a fairy tale from Scotland. One day, a young fisherman accidentally caught a mermaid in his net. Legends say if you catch a mermaid, she must grant you a wish if you let her go. I wish the girl I like would love me forever, he said. Why do you like her? Asked the mermaid. Because she is the prettiest girl in the land. That's pretty shallow. The mermaid thought for a while and handed the boy a magical ring. Give this ring to the girl you want to spend the rest of your life with, she said, but you must wait 1 full year from today before it will work. The boy took the ring, and on his way home, he passed a homeless girl. Please, sir, she said, can you spare something to eat? I will work for you in return. The boy didn't have much, but he agreed to share his food with the girl if she helped him put away his nets. They shared his food, and the girl left while the boy crawled into bed and dreamed of his love. Every day for a month, the girl would help him with the nets, and he would share his food. Then one day, she was not there. The boy was worried, went to look for her, and found her asleep in his fishing shed. The boy was ashamed that he never thought about where the girl would sleep. He woke her up, let her sleep by his fire, and then added a room to his home for her. You can sleep here for the next 11 months, he told her, but then my wife will move in and you will have to leave. The next day, the girl was not waiting to help with the nets, and he was angry. I gave her food and a room, he said, and this is how she repays me? He dropped the nets and burst angrily through his front door. The boy couldn't believe his eyes. His little home had never been so clean. His bed was washed and made. There was a pile of chopped wood by the fire, and a pot of stew waited for him on the fire. Oh, he jumped to conclusions. He jumped to conclusions about what she was doing. He just assumed that she ran off. That's not very nice to assume things like that about people. Again, the boy felt ashamed. Yeah, you should feel ashamed for that. The girl had worked hard all day and made his home more lovely than he had ever had it. They ate together, and the girl left for her room while the boy crawled into his clean bed and dreamed of his love. As the months passed, the boy would ask the girl to stay and talk before they went to sleep in their rooms. They shared stories of their families, and the boy spoke every night of his love. Then, one morning, the boy awoke to find the girl waiting by the door with her things under her arm. "What are you doing?" asked the boy. "It is time for you to marry your love," she said, "so I must go." The boy hadn't realized a full year had passed. He grabbed the ring and ran to the village to find his love. When he found her, the boy saw that she looked exactly the same, but he no longer felt the same way. So he ran back to his home and chased after the girl. Ah, yeah, I saw this coming. "Did you find your love?" she asked. "Yes and no," said the boy. "I found an ordinary girl in the village, but now that I am with you, I know I have found my love." Aww. And so the boy gave the girl his ring, and they spent the rest of their lives together. That's so cute. The ship has sailed. Yay! It's so cute. It's so cute. A Tale of Maui. Oh, this is from the Polynesian mythology of Maui. Can I say except you come for the stories I'm telling you? Maui was a curious being and wanted to know where fire came from. He thought that if he put out all the fires in the village, he would be able to see how they were relit. Maui's mother was the Rangatira, leader of the village. Someone will have to go and ask. Sorry if I mispronounce these, okay? I'm not Polynesian, I'm sorry. Go and ask Mahuika, the goddess of fire, for more. So Maui, who was also Mohika's grandson, went to ask for more fire. Her cave was inside the burning mountain, and when he arrived and asked for more fire, Mahuika gave him one of her burning fingernails. Oh, I would like some burning fingernails. That sounds really cool. But Maui put the fire out and asked for another. Again and again, he did this until Mahuika had no fingernails and only one toenail left. Oh no! Mahuika was very angry and sent fire to chase him, but Maui called on the weather god, who came and put the fire out. Mahuika threw her last toenail at Maui but missed. The toenail landed in the Maho, Totara, Patate, Pukatia, and Kakomako trees. The trees held the fire deep in their branches, for it was a gift from the gods. Maui took dry branches from the trees, took them to the village, and showed the villagers how to rub the branches together and release the fire. This is how people discovered how to make fire. Oh, you're fine, Tasu. Don't worry about it. You're fine, Tasu. Don't worry about it. Oh boy, the Emperor's New Clothes. This is a very classic one by Hans Christian Andersen. I prefer Emperor's New Groove, but that's just my opinion. There once was an emperor who didn't care about ruling his land. Instead, all he cared about was living in his palace, having the finest food and drink, owning the best expensive things, and most of all, wearing the most beautiful clothes. One day, some crooks came to the land. They told the emperor that they had the finest cloth in the world, but it was magical. Only the smartest, most brilliant, most influential people could see it, and anyone who was not brilliant, intelligent, or important could see nothing. When the emperor was shown the cloth, he could see nothing at all, and he was scared. If people find out I am not clever or smart or important, they will choose another emperor, he thought. Then I will not be the most important person in the land, and the finest things will not surround me. So the emperor told the crooks that yes, it was the finest cloth he had ever seen, and asked them to make an outfit for his grand parade. On the day of the parade, everyone in the kingdom came to see the emperor. They had all heard about the magical cloth and wanted to see it for themselves. The giant parade began, and the emperor walked down the great National Mall. Nobody could see the magical clothes, but everyone was too afraid to speak up. A child then pointed at the emperor and asked, "Why isn't he wearing any clothes?" Uh-oh. Oops. Hold on. Sorry. I knocked something over. Hold on. Oh no. Hold on. Hey, Bumba. Sorry, guys. I knocked over a bunny cam. Actually move myself up in my chair so I can lean down and lean the mic. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay. Sorry, guys. I knocked it over. Oh. Hold on. Everything's going alright now. Yay. It's up here. Nope, Bonbon's actually way more graceful than I am. He never walks things over. Let me actually, Bonbon on the camera here. Sleepy. He's a sleepy boy. to the story. Where was I? Let's see. This made other people brave enough to speak up, and soon almost the entire kingdom was talking about the silly emperor. He was so worried about beautiful clothes, expensive things, and what people thought, he walked down the street naked rather than telling the truth. That's silly. Let's see what they Need a lion's whisker. This is a fairy tale from Ethiopia that tells the story of a woman who learns there are no shortcuts and that patience, perseverance, and hard work are essential. It's true. Those are all essential. Look at the nice picture of the lion. Isn't that nice? Leah married a man who already had a son. She tried to be friends with the boy, but nothing she did worked. So Leah went to see the medicine man in the mountains. Please help me, Leah said. I want the boy to be happy and to be friends with him. I've tried for an entire week, but nothing works. Hi, Zeplander. The stream. How are you doing today? You're having a great day. I'm reading some bedtime stories right now. Oh, we also have Ask Me Anything questions going on. So if you have a question, feel free to ask that as well, and I'll answer questions in between stories if I see any pop up. But thank you for asking. Just having a nice, comfy, cozy time reading with you. I'm gonna move Bonbon actually. There we go. Oh, the microphone's fading in and out. Oh, that's because I'm too far away. Hold on. Let me scoot closer. There we go. Is that better? Better? Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Sorry. That's my fault for moving. Okay. I can help. Oh, sorry. I can help, but first I need you to pluck a whisker from a living lion and bring it to me, he said. Leah was afraid, but she wanted to be friends, so she went to where the lions lived. Every day for a month, Leah would put out a bowl of meat and watch from behind a rock when the lion came to feed. This needs some cocoa. Yes, I want some hot cocoa. I need to make some apple maybe later. Next month, she did the same thing but knelt up so her head was showing. Next month, she stood taller so the lion could see her from the waist up, and the following month, she stood beside the rock. For the next 6 months, she inched closer to the lion. In the 10th month, she stood next to him while he ate. In the 11th, she held the bowl, and in the 12th month, and in the 12th month, she would place her hand on the lion's face. Finally, she was brave enough to pluck a whisker from the lion, and she took it to the medicine man. The medicine man accepted the whisker from her and threw it in the fire. Why did you do that? Asked Leela. I worked hard for a full year to get that whisker. You worked hard, said the medicine man. You were patient, gave the lion what it needed, and gained its trust. Is it any harder to do the same for a young boy who misses his mother? Why did you make this... Oh, Bonbon did a stretch. Why did you make this woman waste her time on a lion when she could have been befriending her stepson? It's stupid. It's really stupid. I'm gonna keep reading. And Leah understood there were no shortcuts, but patience, love, understanding, and perseverance would get her where she wanted to be. It's like Bonbon's song, yes. It's a very comfy boy. Bon likes it when it's quiet in here. I think he's also enjoying the bedtime stories as well that I'm reading. He's right under my desk as I'm reading these, so... Hey boy, it's a good one. Swapping. places. This ancient tale is as relevant today as it was when it was first told. Everybody's job may seem easy until you have to do it yourself. Oh, I wonder what this lady's doing with that bucket. Long ago, there was a family. The man went out every day to work on the farm, and the woman stayed in the house working to look after the children in the home. Oh, how stereotypical. One day, the farmer came and complained the house was a mess. The baby was crying. There was no butter, no bread, and his dinner wasn't ready. Maybe he should make his own dinner. What do you do all day? He asked his wife angrily. I could do a better job in one day than you do all week. Okay then, said his wife. Tomorrow I will work on the farm, and you will look after the home. Oh yeah, make him do it. Make him look after the home. Go, queen, go. This is what they did. The woman went out early to work in the field, and the man began his day by feeding the chickens and putting milk in the churn to make butter. But the baby started crying, so he went to pick him up. While the man was shushing the baby, their toddler ran into the kitchen, knocked over the churn, and milk spilled everywhere. Oh, how's it feel? How's it feel, boy? How's it feel? The man started to clean up the mess, but realized he hadn't given the children their breakfast. He began to make breakfast, but he'd forgotten to close the door when he fed the chickens, and now they were in the house, leaving feathers and poop everywhere. I'm sorry, I'm trying to laugh quietly. So it went on all day. Every time he tried to do something, the farmer found other things went wrong. When the woman returned from the fields, she found the house covered in feathers and chicken poop. The children were hungry and dirty and had run through the milk, leaving a sticky, smelling trail. She found her husband sitting on the bed with a crying baby. I am sorry, dear wife, he said. I cannot believe all the things you have to juggle while you work hard at home every day. I will never complain again. Good. And he didn't. And not only that, on the days he came home to no food, he would cook supper for the family, help with the children, and churn the butter for the next day. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Clap, clap, clap. Going for a King. A Chinese cautionary tale. This is an excellent place to begin talking about the dangers of peer pressure. Look at the little sprout growing from the ground. It's nice. An old king had no children, so he held a competition to find the next leader. He decreed that every child who wanted to try it would be given a seed, and they had to go home and nurture the seed for 1 year. At the end of the year, the grower of the best plant would be the new leader. Oh, Doot Raid. Welcome, Doot Raid. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for the raid, Doot. Thank you. Right now we are doing, I'm sorry. My name is Pixie. Welcome, Raiders. I am an artist, a VTuber, model maker, and sometimes I play games. But today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing an ASMR stream. We're doing a comfy ASMR stream where I read bedtime stories to you and also answer questions. We have an Ask Me Anything going on right now. So if you have a question you want to ask, thank you for the follow. Let's see, Tropical Lad, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Trash Bag Army. I need to move my notifications actually to the top. Let me do that real quick. Move that above the bunny camera, the alert box. But yeah, right now I'm reading a bedtime story, which is called Growing for a King. Welcome, Raiders. I hope you're having a great day. Let's see here. So we were reading a story about the king, and he was sending these seeds to these children. They have to go home and nurture the seed for a year. At the end of the year, the grower of the best plant would be the new leader. Hang entered the contest and took a seed home. She put the seed in the best soil, watered it carefully, and gave it just the right amount of sun. By the end of the first month, other children in town had tiny sprouts, but Hang did not. By the end of the third month, all the other children had little bushy plants, but still, Hang didn't have nothing. The other children made fun of Hang, telling her she could never be the leader because she couldn't even grow a tiny plant. Hang swapped the soil and the pot. She tried everything she could think of, but at the end of the year, she still had nothing. The last day of the contest arrived, and all the children took their plants to the palace except Hang. She sat home and cried, but her parents said she should be proud of her hard work and took her along to the judging. The king walked up and down, judging the beautiful, luscious plants. Some of them even had fruit. Then he arrived at Hang. "Where is your plant?" asked the king. Though through her tears, Hang said, "I worked very hard. I gave the seed my best soil, watered it every day, put it in just the right amount of sun, and brought it in from the cold, but nothing I did could make the seed grow." "That's right," said the king. "I gave everyone seeds that had been boiled and dried. None of them could grow into plants. You are the only honest child who was strong enough to admit your seed wouldn't grow," the king continued. "That makes you our new leader." Oh, what an odd way to choose a new leader. The Augie is role-playing its characters from kids' book. That's okay. I don't participate in role. If you want to role-play in the chat, that is your prerogative to do as you like there. Let's see. Stone. Okay, sorry. I didn't want to burp in your guys' ear again. Stonemason's Wish. The moral of the story is to be careful what you wish for and that you should appreciate what you have. It's true, you should appreciate what you have. There's nothing wrong with wanting better for yourself either. There was once a stonemason who was unhappy with his life. "I wish I were the king," he said, and suddenly he was. The stonemason soon discovered that the king always had people asking him questions, and that he had to work when he wanted to rest. "I wish I were the sun," said the stonemason. "The sun is powerful and doesn't get told what to do." And suddenly, he was the sun. The stonemason soon discovered the clouds could block the sun's power. "I wish I were a rain cloud," said the stonemason. "They are powerful enough to block out the sun." And suddenly, he was a rain cloud. As he rained down on the earth, the stonemason tried to change the shapes of the rocks. "I wish I were powerful enough to change the shape of rocks," said the stonemason. And suddenly he was a mason again, holding a chisel, ready to carve the stone. "I am glad to be a stonemason again," he said. "I can change stone into beautiful things, and that is all I need." Oh, that's very nice. He learned that he was happy with his life as it was. Mousy Merchant. This is an Indian tale. Mousy Merchant is a classic underdog makes good story. In the city, there was a wealthy merchant. He would lend people money for their business, and in return, he took some profits. Mousy was a poor boy who asked the merchant for a loan. "How will you make money?" asked the merchant. "You have no business and nothing worth taking if you do not pay me back." "You're called Mousy, so have this dead mouse," said the merchant, and he and his friends laughed. Mousy took the dead mouse, gave it to someone with a pet cat, and in return received 2 handfuls of chickpeas. He ground the chickpeas, filled his only jar with water, and waited by the road under a tree. A group of woodcutters came by, and Mousy gave them the food and drink in return for 2 pieces of their wood. He sold the wood and bought 4 handfuls of peas and another jar. Next day, the woodcutter swapped 4 pieces of wood for his food and drink. Mousy kept 2 pieces and traded 2 for more supplies. This reminds me of a scavenger hunt I did in my youth group when I was young. We took a penny and we went to somebody's house and we ran around the neighborhood trading things. We went from a penny to, I think it was a golf club, in about an hour, which was pretty interesting. It kind of shows you what things are worth to me. But this reminds me of that. Ew. This went on for months until the rains came and the woodcutters could not work and wood was in short supply. Mousy sold his spare wood for a lot of money and bought a store. Over the years, slowly, he built up a business and made sure to help others who nobody else was willing to support. One day, he was invited to the merchant's house. He declined the invitation and instead paid the merchant back his loan by sending him a dead mouse and a second one as interest. That's kind of funny. Pumpkin in a jar. Pumpkin in a jar teaches that there is always a solution to the problem, even when it seems impossible. Welcome back, Tasu. We read a couple more stories, but you haven't missed much. And Bonbon is still sleeping under my desk, as you can see in the bunny cam. Now we're reading a story called Pumpkin in a Jar. There was once a troll who lived under a bridge. From time to time, he would reach up to someone crossing the bridge, pull them down into his cave, make them look after him and his home, and use his magic to make them stay. That's not very nice. One day, he grabbed a girl who was more clever than the rest. You have to challenge me to your impossible task, and if I complete the task, you have to let me go, said the girl. The rules of magic say so. Every troll has one, but only one impossible task he can set. If someone completes the task, he has to let them go. Here is a jar, the troll said. You must grow a pumpkin in the jar and bring it back to me at the end of fall. But the pumpkin must be in the jar, and the jar and the pumpkin must be whole and undamaged. It's gonna look like one of those Japanese watermelons. At the end of fall, the girl came back and handed the troll his jar. It was the same jar he gave her. It was undamaged, and inside was a whole, intact pumpkin. The troll was very angry, but a deal was a deal, and he had to let her go. The girl told everyone in the village, if the troll catches you, ask for his impossible task. Take his jar, place it over a pumpkin flower, and tie it to the vine. The pumpkin will grow inside the jar. Just before it is big enough to break the jar open, cut the pumpkin from the vine. It will stop growing. And so the troll was never again able to keep anyone captive to do his housework. Do your own housework. The importance of bedtime. I see. The rest of this is just about the importance of reading bedtime stories to your children. Okay, so we read all the bedtime stories. I didn't plan on this being too long of a stream, but if you guys have some other stories, bedtime stories you want me to read, feel free to link them. I'm gonna look up some. Or if you guys have questions you want to ask me, that's fine too. Let's see. Look up some more bedtime stories. Hello, Mayuna. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? You're having a great day. What made you want to become a VTuber? I guess it was just mostly seeing other VTubers. The clips of other VTubers, like a lot of the VTubers from Hawaii. They look like a lot of fun. I've always wanted to stream like on Twitch and YouTube and stuff, but I didn't feel a lot of very self-conscious about my looks. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I am doing well, thank you for asking. I'm not essentially like bad looking in real life. I am raccoon, and this is prettier than most of us raccoons look in real life. But being a VTuber sounded fun to me. Oh no, the mic dropped. Oh no, am I not close enough? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry. Where did it drop off at? I decided to become a VTuber because I saw other VTubers and I thought it looked fun. I kind of joined in the trend a little late, but some of your sentences drop off. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hold on, let me see if I can change the sensitivity of the mic. Maybe fix that a little bit, or maybe move my mic a little bit closer to my face. Is this better? I'm so sorry. But I'm saying the reason I decided to become a VTuber is because I saw other VTubers and I didn't see any like furry VTubers at the time that I was looking around the internet, so I thought furry VTuber. If that answers your question. But yeah, thank you, Maiden. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. I actually listen to this mix all the time when I go to sleep. I'm so sorry. Let me mess with my mic on guys. I'll fix my mic up here real quick. Just give me a sec. It's being real dumb. Turn up the input gain on here so it might get a little bit louder. Just warn you guys, it might get a little bit louder, but I'm gonna turn up the input gain so that I can whisper to you guys and it'll be a little bit louder. And it shouldn't cut off so much as well. There we go. Is that better, guys? Is that what better? There we go. Okay, cool. But yeah, I was saying there weren't a lot of furry VTubers, so I thought it would be fun to be raccoon VTuber. But yeah, I don't know. It just looked like fun, and I wanted to try it for myself, and I've been having a fun time with it. So we're almost coming up on a year, actually. Here in March will be my my year anniversary of being a VTuber, so that'll be exciting. I do plan on releasing a 2.0 model in March, so I hope you guys will come and stick around for that. I'm gonna basically be re-debuting in March with my 2.0 model. But yeah, I hope that answers your questions there, Tasu. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find some more bedtime stories. Unless you guys have more questions, I don't mind doing, a story and then a question. Oh, any lore for Pixel? What kind of world does she live in? I am a princess VTuber, a raccoon princess. As far as my lore goes, the only lore I've written is that I lived in a kingdom and I decided to stop being a ruler in order to become an idol instead. But I think I might change that lore to be I left my parents' kingdom and decided to make my own kingdom, which I'm currently working on through my followers. Oh, you got a lot of questions. Okay, that's fine by me. I don't mind answering. What kind of world does she live in? I live in digital world. I probably should work on my lore a little bit, but I don't feel like my lore is very important. All you need to know is that I am Princess Raccoon. do, 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 do. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Do, 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 do. Let's see. Hold on. I got more bedtime stories here now. Okay, there we go. Oh, I see. All these are all very, very classic ones. I'm trying to find some that aren't so easily known. Story time. I mean, if you have another question, that's fine. I don't mind. Let's see here. I'm looking through stories here. No, I don't like any of these. Oh, there's more pages. Okay, good. Since you're not a huge gamer, what are your other hobbies? Well, I mean, I've gotten a lot more into gaming over the last year. But I do also enjoy making origami from time to time. And I also like to just like watch movies and anime. I guess those are my other hobbies. I like watching a lot of like true crime and listening to podcasts. I guess those are hobbies. I don't know. I don't really have any specific hobbies, I guess, but those are things I like to do during my off hours. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Oh, a raid. Oh, a raid. Welcome, raiders. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid, Draco Azure. Welcome, raiders. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. Hold on. Let me do a shout out for you, Draco. Welcome, raiders. My name is Pixie. I'm an artist, VTuber, model maker, and gamer. Today we are doing an ASMR stream, which is a little bit different from what I normally do. But we're doing this because I hit my sub goal last month. Thank you so much for the raid, Draco. How was your stream? Did you have a good stream? You were playing Divinity Original Sin. I've never heard of that game. Is it fun? So today is an AMA / comfy stream, ASMR stream. I'm reading bedtime stories, but you can also ask me questions if you're curious about me and want to know more about me. I'll answer questions as well. It's a long story RPG game. Oh, I see. Oh, that's nice. And it was a good and long stream. Oh, that's good to hear. Glad you had a good stream. Okay, I found the next story that we're gonna read through. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Talvern. Oh no, I'm sorry, Talvamir. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Trash Panda Army. Hope you're having a great day. I need to move the alert box above the chat. There we go. And I'm also gonna turn off the bunny cam and give Bonbon some time to relax. But yeah, let's see. The next story we're gonna read here. Oh, welcome. Hello, I'm having a great day. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. There is a first one as well. They do build off each other, and if you want to play them, it is a turn-based, so plenty of time to do interaction with chat as well. Oh, that's nice. Turn-based RPGs are fun. I haven't really played, like, unless you count Paper Mario as a turn-based RPG, I guess it is. But I haven't really played that many turn-based RPGs, but that sounds neat. I'll have to look at that sometime. But the next story we're reading through here is called Is There Anyone Like Me? So let's see here. Oh, it's got pictures. Oh, okay. Let me put this on screen so you guys can see it. It's got pictures. Oh, let me put that above the chat box. Here we go. Look at the cute picture of I think it's a zebra. It's so cute. It's very cute. Let me move this a little bit up here. And then I'm gonna also adjust the window so it doesn't show this stuff on the side. And then let's see. There we go. Okay, that's good. Okay. Oh no, you ran out of cocoa. Better go get some more. Oh. Do 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 do. I wonder if there's another me somewhere in the world who looks the same and talks the same and even has my curls. Hold on, I'm gonna widen the window a little bit. Give me a second. I'm just widening the window. It's cutting off some of the text and I don't know why it's doing that. I'm so sorry. Oh, those are some nice curls. Very nice. Someone with my eyes, my ears, who even has my laugh. Who can do what I can do and can't do what I can't. I've looked and looked everywhere to find another me. I went down to the park and looked behind the tree. That must be a very long zebra to wrap around that tree. I looked around, up and down, at every single face. I couldn't find another me in any single place. There's only one me in the world. I'm special. Oh, it's true. But not just me, don't you see? There's only one of you. Oh, isn't that nice? Everybody's special in their own way. Let's see here. I'll go through and find another one. Let's see. The girl who changed her fate. We'll read that one next. Once there was a widow who was puzzled why no suitors came to court her 3 lovely daughters. One day, a very old woman who was known to understand such goings-on came to the widow's house. The widow offered the old woman tea and sweets and asked her why no suitors came to call. Oh my goodness! Thank you for the raid, Kingster Fox. Thank you. Welcome, raiders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Pixie. I'm an artist, a VTuber model maker, and sometimes I play games. But today we're doing something special. We're doing an ASMR Ask Me Anything comfy stream. Welcome, Whimsy Cat. Hello, happy raid. Yes, happy raid. Welcome, raiders. Let me do a shout out for Kingster Fox real quick here. Oh, look, thank you so much for that raid. Oh, thank you for the follow, Whimsy Cat. Welcome to the Trash Panda Army. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the raid, Kingster Fox. How was your stream? You were playing Dungeons and Dragons? Ooh. Is that the old, arcade Dungeons and Dragons? That sounds fun. I hope you had a great stream. Let me grab my... Oh no, hold on. I lost the stories. So right now I'm reading through I'm reading through bedtime stories, but you can also ask me questions if you have questions you want to ask me. It's an Ask Me Anything stream. Hello, Punk Moogle. Welcome to stream. How are you doing today? But yeah, we're doing bedtime stories right now. I'm reading the one. This one is called "The Girl Who Changed Her Fate." Truly, it is hard to say," said the old woman. "Yet it can only mean one thing. One of your daughters must be ill-fated. As long as she stays in the house, no suitors will come to call." The widow gasped. That cannot be." Then she said in barely a whisper, "Which one?" "That I cannot tell you," said the old woman. "But you can be sure of this. The one who sleeps on both of her hands is the one who is ill-fated." Oh, you were playing the board game. Oh, okay. It went okay? That's good to hear. I'm glad you had fun. As darkness fell and her 3 daughters went to bed, the widow dreaded what she must do. First, she visited her oldest daughter's bed and saw that she was sleeping soundly on her back. Then she went to her middle daughter's bed and saw that Oh, my music stopped. Hold on a second. Let me get some more music for you guys. Some more comfy music. There we go. Some Minecraft music in here. Okay. Then she went to her middle daughter's bed and saw that she was sleeping on her stomach. That's how I usually sleep, is on my stomach. The widow, her heart pounding, ventured to her youngest daughter's bed. There, with horror, she saw that her dear youngest daughter, Alina, breathing evilly, was sleeping on both of her hands. The widow felt weak. She sat on the bedside and wept silently. Her tears fell on Alina's hands, and the girl awakened. "Mother," she cried, "what's the matter?" The mother could not bear to tell the girl the truth. "Why, it's nothing, nothing at all," she said through her tears. Alina insisted. Finally, the mother shared with her what the old woman had said. "Then I must go," said the girl firmly. Her mother protested, saying what the old woman had said was probably nothing at all, but no matter what the mother said, the girl continued to pack. At last, seeing she could not stop her daughter from leaving, the mother packed for her a large basket of food and kissed her on the cheek. As the mother sadly watched Alina walk away, suitors approached the house with gifts for her sisters. Oh, poor Alina. Alina traveled far and wide. Always she got a job, but always the job ended in disaster because of her ill fate. Finally, she met a queen who took a liking to the girl. "Surely you must be ill-fated," said the queen, shaking her head at the girl's latest disaster. "There's only one thing you can do." "Is there anything that will help?" asked the girl in amazement, not knowing that there was anything one could do about an ill fate. "You must find your fate," said the queen firmly. "All the fates live in the mountains far beyond. You must find the one that is yours, and she must accept a gift from you. Once she accepts a gift from you, you will no longer be ill-fated." With hope, Alina left for the distant mountains. After a long journey, she arrived at the one where all the fates in the world lived. Some of the fates were lovely to look at, others as hideous as they could be. "Are you my fate?" Alina asked, each one in turn. Not gonna lie, this is actually very good, comfy ASMR reading. You're very soothing. Oh, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Let's see. You made me lose my place. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, no. You made me blush. Let's see here. With hope. Oh no, I already read that. I'm sorry. Alina asked each one in turn. Some politely smiled no, others scoffed and laughed at her. She went on, one after another. Finally, she saw a fate that looked somewhat like her, but her face was grotesquely twisted. Her hair was wild, and she stared at Alina, making her very uncomfortable. Alina whispered, "Are you my fate?" frightened to know what must be true. "Well, that's not very nice. She might be nice. She might be a nice fate, and you're just judging her based on her looks. That's not fair." Alina's fate laughed and stared at her in such a way that Alina knew she had found the right one. Alina offered her some bread, but the creature cursed her and threw handfuls of dirt in her face. When the bizarre creature was laughing so loudly her mouth was wide open, Alina quickly threw a piece of bread that landed in her mouth. That's rude. As the hideous fate chomped on the bread, her face softened. She said, "Well, now that's not so bad. Not bad at all." Alina's fate threw her a silk ball. She told the girl that if anyone wanted the silk thread, she must demand its weight in gold. Then she abruptly turned around and left. Delighted, Alina returned to the castle. A young man heard about her silk thread and asked to buy it for her sister's wedding. His sister's wedding. Alina said that in exchange she must have its weight in gold, yet no matter how much gold was piled on the scale, it was never enough. Finally, the young man stepped on the scale himself and it balanced perfectly. The two of them laughed and they were soon married. That's a little rush, but okay. The end. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. But that gold doesn't weigh enough as that silk, so maybe we should get married. Okay, let's see. The girl fish. That sounds fine. Let's read that one next. Oh, yep, I got time for an AMA. Let's go. What do you want to ask? Let's go. Don't mind me, I'm just cracking my neck a little bit. Are you the only raccoon? Got any brother or sister raccoons? I do actually have actually my brother and sister are both cats. It's kind of weird. My brother's name is Cat. He's a cat. And my sister's name is Nightfire. And she is also a cat. But I haven't determined whether or not my mom or my dad was the cat and one of them was a raccoon, so. Maybe I'm half cat. Maybe that's why my tail likes to swish around so much. I am the adopted one. Yes, we could say that. Yes, love who you love, yes. Did we have any more questions? If not, I'm just gonna go to the next story, but I don't mind answering more if we have some. You ever see any fellow raccoons living in garbage cans? I don't know if there's any living in garbage cans, but there are some raccoons around my house. They are my loyal subjects. I sometimes feed them. They are peasants and they need food. So once in a while, if I see them roaming about, I give them food. How long have you been a furry? Well, I am raccoon, so probably forever. But as far as like being a furry, I don't really like to put labels on myself as one thing. I do like anime as well, and I do like video games, and I like a lot of different things. But I've been into furry anthro stuff since I was young, since I watched Disney movies. If that answers your question. I don't like to classify myself as one thing, but if you're asking how long I've been into furry stuff, that would be from the time I was a little baby raccoon. I'm gonna read the next story now, and then after that we can answer some more questions. This will be a shorter stream than normal, guys, just FYI. Oh, thank you for the hydrate redeem. Yes, I do need that after reading so many stories. Let me take a quick swig here. Okay. Thank you for the hydrate redeem. I appreciate that. Okay, so this one's called The Girl Fish. Once upon a time, there lived on the bank of a stream a man and a woman who had a daughter. They never could make up their minds to punish her for her faults or to teach her nice manners. As for work, she laughed in her mother's face if she asked her to help cook dinner or to wash the plates. All the girl would do was spend her days dancing and playing with her friends. She was no use to her parents. Sometimes they thought they might as well have no child at all. Well, that's not very nice. However, one morning her mother looked so tired that even the selfish girl could not help seeing it. She asked if there was anything she was able to do so that her mother might rest a little. The good woman looked so surprised and grateful for this offer that the girl felt rather ashamed, and at that moment would have scrubbed down the house if she had been requested. But her mother only begged her to take the fishing net out to the bank of the river and mend some holes in it, as her father intended to go fishing that night. The girl took the net and worked so hard that soon there was not a hole to be found. She felt quite pleased with herself. All this time she had plenty of company to amuse her, as everyone who passed by had stopped to have a chat with her. But by this time the sun had... Sorry, let me read that again. But by this time the sun was high overhead, and she was just folding her net to carry it home again, when she heard a splash behind her. Looking around, she saw a big fish jump into the air. At once seizing the net with both hands, she flung it into the water and drew out the fish. "Well, you are quite a fine-looking fish," she said. But the fish looked up at her and said, "You had better not kill me, for if you do, I will turn you into a fish yourself." I think it's time to throw the fish back. Don't take that fish home." The girl laughed and ran straight to her mother. "Look what I caught," she said gaily, and left the fish with her mother, and off she went to gather some flowers to stick in her hair. About an hour later, the blowing of a horn told her the dinner was ready. "Didn't I say that the fish would be delicious?" she cried. Plunging her spoon into the dish, the girl helped herself to a large piece, but the instant it touched her mouth, a cold shiver ran through her. Her head seemed to flatten and her eyes to look oddly round to the corners. Her legs and arms were stuck to her sides, and she gasped widely for breath. Oh gosh, this turned into a horror movie all of a sudden. With a mighty bound, she sprang through the window and fell into the river, where she soon felt better and was able to swim down the river to the sea, which was close by. No sooner had she arrived under the sea than the sight of her sad face attracted the notice of some of the other fishes. They pressed around her, begging her to tell them her story. I'm sorry, guys. This music is not very relaxing like it said it would be. I'm gonna change it. It's actually throwing me off. Hold on a moment. That is very intense music for an ASMR stream. I don't think I care much for it. That's better. There we go. Okay, let me actually adjust my chair too while I'm at it. This is riveting. Girlfish is getting out of hand. Yeah, some Minecraft songs are awfully intense. Yeah, I agree, Tasu. I've got to scoot my chair a little bit forward. Oh, my chair's caught on a cord. Hold on just a moment. My model might be freaking out for a sec. Come on now. Okay, sorry about that. My chair was caught on a cord and I was trying to scoot it closer. Okay, sorry about that. Oh. Okay. Let's see. I lost my place. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. It was Talve who said that. I agree with you, Talve. Let's see. No sooner had she arrived under the sea than the sight of her sad face attracted the notice of some other fishes. They pressed around her, begging her to tell them her story. "I am not a fish at all," said the newcomer, swallowing a great deal of salt water as she spoke, "for you cannot learn how to be a proper fish all in a moment. I am not a fish, but a girl. At least I was a girl only a few minutes ago." And she ducked her head under the waves so that they should not see her crying. "Only you did not believe that the fish you caught had the power to carry out this threat," said an old tuna. "Well, never mind. That has happened to many of us, and it really is not such a bad life. Cheer up and come with us and see our queen, who lives in the palace." The new fish felt a little afraid of taking such a journey, but as she was still more afraid of being left alone, she waved her tail in token of consent. Off they all set, hundreds of them, swimming together. At first, our little fish felt as if she were blind in the dark waters, but by the by she began to make out one object after another in the green dimness. By the time she had swum for a few hours, all became clear. "Here we are at last," cried a big fish, going down into a deep valley. For the sea has its mountains and valleys just as much as the land. That is very true. Have you guys ever seen pictures of the underground or the underwater rivers? Those are pretty interesting. "That is the palace of the Queen of the Fishes, and I think you must confess that the Emperor himself has nothing so fine." "It is beautiful indeed," gasped the little fish, who was very tired with trying to swim as fast as the rest. The palace walls were made of pale pink coral, worn smooth by the waters, and round the windows were rows of pearls. The great doors were standing open, and the whole troop floated into the chamber of audience, where before them was the queen. She was mermaid-like, having a human form from the head to the waist, and a tail from the waist down. "Who are you, and where do you come from?" said the queen to the little fish, whom the others had pushed in front, and in a low, trembling voice the visitor told her story. When the fish had ended, the queen answered, "I was once a young woman too, a princess in fact, and my father was the king of a great country. A husband was found for me, and on my wedding day my mother placed her crown on my head and told me that as long as I wore the crown I should likewise be queen. For a few years I was as happy as a young woman could be, especially when I had a little son to play with. But one morning, when I was walking in my gardens, along came a giant who snatched the crown from my head. Holding me fast, he told me that he intended to give my crown to his daughter and to place her in my place, to put her in my place." Wow, that was weird to read. "He would enchant my husband and the prince, so he should not know the difference between us. Since then, she had filled my place and has been queen in my stead. As for me, I was so miserable that I threw myself into the sea, and my ladies, who loved me, declared that they would die too. But instead of dying, some wizard, who pitied my fate, turned us all into fishes, though he allowed me to keep the face and upper body of a woman, and fishes we must remain until someone else brings me back my crown." "I will bring it back if you tell me what to do," cried the little fish, who would have promised anything that was likely to carry her up to the earth again. And the queen answered, "Well then, yes, I will tell you what to do." She sat silent for a moment and then went on. "There is no danger if you will only follow my counsel. First, you must return to the earth and go up to the top of the high mountain where the giant has built his castle. You will find him sitting on the steps weeping for his daughter, who has just died while my husband, who has been a prince but is now king of the land, was away hunting. But I warn you, you must be careful, for if he sees you, he may kill you. Therefore, I will give you the power to change yourself into any animal creature that you may help you best." You have only to strike your forehead and call out the name of the animal you wish to be. Ooh, I wish I had that power. That sounds awesome. Mind you, you may not become any human or magical creature, but you may choose to become any animal of the forest, field, or stream. This time, the journey to land seemed much shorter than before. When once the little fish reached the shore, she struck her forehead simply with her tail and cried, "A deer, that's what I'd like to be." Oh, she became a deer. In a moment, the small, slimy body disappeared, and in its place stood a beautiful beast with soft fur and slender legs, quivering with long to be gone. Throwing back her head and snuffling the air, she broke into a run, leaping easily over the rivers and walls that stood in her way. It happened that the king's son had been hunting since daybreak, but they had killed nothing. When the deer crossed his path as he was resting under the tree, he determined to have her. He flung himself on his horse, which flew like the wind, and as the prince had often hunted in the forest before and knew all the shortcuts, he at last came up with the panting beast. "By your favor, let me go, and do not kill me," said the deer, turning to the prince with tears in her eyes, "for I have far to run and much to do." And as the prince struck dumb with surprise, only looked at her, the deer cleared the next wall and was soon out of sight. That can't really be a deer," thought the prince to himself, reining in his horse and not attempting to follow her. "No deer ever had eyes like that. It must be an enchanted maiden, and I will marry her and none other." So, turning his horse's head, he rode slowly back to his palace. "Hey boys, I fell in love with a deer. Oh no." The deer reached the giant's castle quite out of breath, and her heart sank as she gazed at the tall, smooth walls which surrounded it. Then she plucked up courage and cried, "An ant, that's what I'd like to be." And in a moment the soft fur and beautiful shape had vanished, and a tiny brown innie invisible to all who did not look closely was climbing up the walls. That's a weird sentence. It was wonderful how fast she went, that little creature. The wall must have appeared miles high in comparison with her own body, yet in less time than would have seemed possible, she was over the top and down in the courtyard on the other side. Here she paused to consider what had best be done next. Looking about her, she saw that one of the walls had a tree growing by it, and in the corner was a window very nearly on the level of the highest branches of the tree. "A monkey, that's what I'd like to be." She returned to monkey, guys. She returned to monkey. She returned to monkey. "Perhaps the giant will be so startled at the sight of a swinging monkey that he may never give me the crown," thought the monkey. "I had better become something else." Then she was a pink and gray parrot who hopped onto the giant, who by this time was stretching himself and giving yawns which shook the castle. The parrot waited a little, until he was really awake. Then she said boldly that she had been sent to take away the crown, which was not by his any longer, now that his daughter, the queen, was dead. Wowzers, this story is going places, right? It really is. I'm very invested in this story right now. On hearing these words, the giant leapt out of his bed with an angry roar and sprang at the parrot in order to wring her neck with his great hands. But the bird was too quick for him, and flying behind his back, begged the giant to have patience, as her death would be of no use to him. "That is true," answered the giant, "but I am not so foolish as to give you the crown for nothing. Let me think of what I will have in exchange," and he scratched his huge head for several minutes. "Ah yes," he exclaimed at last, his face brightening, "you shall have the crown if you bring me a collar of blue stones from the great ark." Now when the parrot had been a girl, she often heard of the wonderful great ark and its precious stones and marbles. It sounded as if it would be a very hard thing to get them away from the stone structure of which they formed a part. Still, all had gone well with her so far, and at any rate she could but try. So she bowed to the giant and made her way to the window where the giant could not see her. Then she called quickly, "An eagle, that's what I'd like to be." Before she had even reached the tree, she felt herself borne up on strong wings, ready to carry to the clouds if she wished to go there. Seemingly a mere speck in the sky, she was swept along until she beheld the great arc far below, with the rays of the sun shining on it. She swooped down and, hiding herself behind a buttress so that she could not be detected from below, set herself to dig out the nearest bluestones with her beak. It was even harder work than she expected, but at last it was done, and hope arose in her heart. She next drew out a piece of string that she had found hanging from a tree. Sitting down to rest, she strung the stones together. When the necklace was finished, she hung it around her neck and called, "A parrot, that's what I'd like to be." Oh, thank you for the pets. Oh, thank you for the pets, and thank you for the resub. Thank you so much. Oh no, I'm not in place for pets right now. Ah, oh no, I'm sorry. The plates are the stuff is misaligned. Thank you for the pets. I'll put a thing on my head for that. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the resub, Melly. Thank you for the resub, Melly. Thank you for the resub, Melly. 8 months of love from your favorite VTuber baby, hoping sometime in the next month or so we can talk about another commission for a new chibi derpy for it. Oh, that would be great. I would love that. I actually have one spot left in my commissions for this month if you're interested, but if this month's not working for you, that's perfectly fine. The plates are misaligned. Noted. Let's see here. Hold on. No, I meant the notifications are misaligned, but that's, yeah. Let me get the head pats here for your redeem. I know you wanted head pats, so I'm gonna put those on my head. There, right here. There we go. Thank you for the head pats. I appreciate it a lot. The head pats, so nice. Let's see here. I lost my place. Hold on a moment. There we are. Okay. Oh no, you had bad back spasms? I'm so sorry to hear you're having back pain. I hope that you feel better. And that's perfectly fine if this month doesn't work for you. There's always next month. But let's see here. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to find my spot. When the necklace was finished, she hung it around her neck and called, "A parrot, that's what I'd like to be." So she quickly flew back, the necklace around her neck, and a little later the pink and gray parrot stood before the giant. "Here is the necklace you asked for," said the parrot. The eyes of the giant glistened as he took the heap of blue stones in his hand. But for all that, he was not minded to give up the crown. "They are hardly as blue as I expected," he grumbled, though the parrot knew as well as he did that he was not speaking the truth. "You must bring me a bag of stars from the sky. If you fail, it will cost you not only the crown, but your life." The parrot was stunned, but what could she do? She turned away, and as soon as she was outside, she murmured, "A toad, that's what I'd like to be." Sure enough, a toad she was, and off she set in search of a bucket of stars. She had not gone far before she came to a clear pool, in which the stars were reflected so brightly that they looked quite real to touch and handle. Stooping down, she filled the bag she was carrying with the shining water and returned to the castle. Then she cried as before, "A parrot, that's what I'd like to be." And in the shape of a parrot, she entered the presence of the giant. That's a cute illustration. I like it. He's like, "Yeah, I got a bag full of stars." "Come outside and see it," she said, and when the giant stood under the stars, she opened the bag and said, "Here's the bag of stars you asked for." This time the giant could not help crying out with admiration. He knew he was beaten, and he turned to the girl. "Your power is greater than mine, so be it. Take this old crown anyway." But what happens when the stars aren't out? I'm doing much better. Oh, that's good to hear, Melly. Can't do much heavy lifting, but I can do most of the things I do at work anyways and put on my work shirt. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad things are better. The parrot did not need to be told twice. Seizing the crown, she sprang out onto the window, crying, "A monkey, that's what I'd like to be." As a monkey, the climb down the tree to the courtyard did not take half a minute. When she reached the ground, she said again, "An ant, that's what I'd like to be." And a little ant at once began to crawl over the high wall. How glad the ant was to be out of the giant's castle, holding fast the crown, which had shrunk into almost nothing, as she herself had done, but grew quite big again when the ant exclaimed, "A deer, that's what I'd like to be." Surely no deer ever ran so swiftly as that one. On and on she went, bounding over rivers and crashing through tangles, till she reached the sea. "Here," she cried, "a fish, that's what I'd like to be." And plunging in, she swam along the bottom as far as the palace, the crown held fast in her fins. There the queen and all the fishes were gathered together, awaiting her. The hours since she had left passed very slowly, as they always do to those who are waiting, and many of them had quite given up hope. "The young flies will be coming out about now," grumbled one of the fish, "and they will all be eaten up by the river fish. It would really be too hard to miss them," when suddenly a voice was heard from behind. "Look, look! What is the bright thing moving so swiftly towards us?" And the queen started up and stood on her tail, so excited was she. A silence fell on all the crowd, and even the grumblers held their place and gazed like the rest. On and on came the fish, holding the crown tightly in her fins, and the others moved back to let her pass. On she went right up to the queen, who bent and, taking the crown, placed it on her own head. Then a wonderful thing happened. Her tail dropped away, or rather, it divided and grew into 2 legs, while her maidens, grouped around her, shed their scales and became young women again. They all turned and looked at each other first, and next at the little fish who had regained her own shape also. "It is you who have given us back our life, you," they cried, and fell to weeping from very joy. So they all quickly swam to the surface and went back to the queen's palace on land. But they had been away so long that they found many changes. Still, the queen's husband, now king, recognized her at once, since the spell had been broken the moment the queen had placed her rightful crown upon her head. The little boy she had left behind was now all grown up. Even at his joy at seeing his mother again, an air of sadness clung to him. At last the queen couldn't bear it no longer, and she begged him to walk with her in the garden. Seated together in a bower of jasmine, where she had passed long hours as a bride, she took her son's hand and entreated him to tell her the cause of his sorrow. "For," she said, "if I can give you happiness, you shall have it." Hold on a second. "It is no use," answered the prince. "Nobody can help me. I must bear it alone." "At least let me share your grief," urged the queen. There was a silence between them for a moment. Then, turning away his head, the prince answered gently, "I have fallen in love with a beautiful deer." Mama, I'm in love with deer." No, son, you can't be in love with a deer. I'm sorry." Then, "No, son, that's zoophilia. You need help." You need help. "Ah, if that is all," exclaimed the queen joyfully. "Oh, that's it. Oh, that's all. Oh, okay." And then she told him in broken words that, as he had guessed, it had been no deer, but it was in fact an enchanted maiden. Oh, that's good she knew what deer he was talking about, at least. The very one who had won back the crown for her and brought her home to all her people. "She is here, in my palace," added the queen. "I will take you to her." When the prince stood before the girl, he lost all courage and stood before her with a bent head. Oh, they got a swooch. The maiden's eyes, as she looked at him, were the very same eyes of the deer that day in the forest. She whispered softly, "By your favor, let me go, and do not kill me." And the prince remembered her words and her eyes, and his heart was filled with happiness. The queen, his mother, watched them both and smiled. In the days and weeks that followed, the prince and the girl spent more and more time together and found that they seemed to be as comfortable together as time went by as they had been the very first time they had met. The girl invited her parents to the royal wedding, a 3-day feast that everyone enjoyed, and of course the queen saw to it that the missing blue stones of the great ark were restored. Would she go slay the giant for those? How did she get them back? I have questions that are not resolved by the ascending, but okay. That was the girl who was a fish, or the girl fish. Yeah, the girl fish. That was actually a really interesting one. Let's see. Do we have any questions before I go on to the next story? Any AMAs? I think I'm gonna read this one next. The little boy and the girl in the clouds. That seems nice. But we just want to check real quick that we don't have any. You don't want to be too personal. What's too personal? Like I mean, I won't know if it's too personal unless you ask. And it is an Ask Me Anything stream, so as long as it's like not inappropriate, it should be fine. Favorite food? I like steak. I like steak and potatoes. I am a very Midwestern raccoon gal. I like my steak and potatoes a lot. Just give me a nice sirloin with like mashed potatoes. Oh my gosh, it's bad. It's amazing. Ooh, favorite drink. I like Dr. Pepper a lot. I also really like root beer. I guess soda is my favorite drink altogether, but I really like root beer. Favorite dessert. I like banana pudding. Banana pudding is really good. Especially if you make it yourself. Homemade banana pudding. Oh, so good. With like the crumbles in it and stuff. Oh, that's nice. That's really good stuff. Oh, I wish I had some right now. Ooh, favorite ice cream flavor. Oh, mint chocolate chip for sure. Or even like mint cookie crumble. Like if you put like Oreos and like crumble them in. Oh, that's good. Mint chocolate is best ice cream flavor. I will fight you if you disagree. Let's see. A lemon? You're more of a lemon guy? Lemon flavors are good. Lemon sorbet is really good. I like lemonade and I like lemon sorbet. Those are really good. You do any outdoor sports or activities? No, actually, I'm pretty much, I stay inside. The only time I really go outside is to like go shopping. I'm a very indoor raccoon. Favorite anime? Oh gosh, I actually made a video about that where I named a bunch of my favorite animes. And there's so many I can't even name, but I'll just list some off of the top of my head. I really like Hunter x Hunter, and I really like ReZero, and I really like My Hero Academia, and I have a lot of favorites, but I do have a YouTube video on my YouTube channel that lists a bunch of animes that I like. Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah. That too. Favorite movie. Oh gosh. I have a lot of favorite movies. I really like the Back to the Future trilogy. A lot. Other than that, I like Breakfast Club a lot. Oh, actually, I really like Goofy movie. The original Goofy movie. I could watch that like over and over and not get sick of it. I also really like Emperor's New Groove. Favorite place to vacation or that you've traveled to? Ooh, I haven't actually traveled that many places yet. I'm kind of ashamed to say it. I want to travel more, but gosh, I can't think of any like place that is my favorite. I guess I really liked visiting Texas when I went there one time. We saw dolphins and I got to ride on a horse, which was pretty fun. Favorite anime movie? Ooh, oh gosh. That one I might need to think about. I really like Your Name Is. And I really like, oh, what's the other one? I like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time was really good. Oh, I also like Howl's Moving Castle a lot, as far as like Ghibli movies go. And Spirited Away is really good too. You own the art book for Spirited Away? That's amazing. I would love to see that art book. I would love to see that art book. I bet it's really nice. Oh, Howl's. Oh, that's even better. Howl's is my fave. Howl's is my fave. Ghibli. Put that in the trash. Sorry. Oh, that's really cool. I was watching a video just the other day actually about Howl's Moving Castle and how the book was different from the movie. Which, it was really weird actually. Did you guys know that there's actually no like war plot in the books? But they added it in for the movie because Hayao Miyazaki likes to add war and stuff into his movies for some reason. Well, probably because Hayao Miyazaki was born during World War II. Oh, thank you for the hydrate redeem. Yes, I will redeem that right now. Thank you. Thank you for the hydrate redeem. It's thick. The book is thick. That book is thick. Dang, boy. That book is thick. Okay, let's go on to the next story here real quick. Let's see. So this next one is called The Little Boy and Girl in the Clouds. In California today, in the valley of Yosemite, many tourists come to marvel at a very tall and sheer rock named El Capitan. But those who lived centuries ago, the people of the Miwok tribe, had another name for this natural wonder. They told a story about how it came about. According to the Miwok, this very tall, vertical rock magically appeared overnight. One day, it was an ordinary flat rock, but overnight it rose and stretched until it poked through the clouds above the tallest tree tops. Oh, you got another question. I'll answer that after this next story, I promise. I'll try to remember that. Where would you want to travel outside of the... Okay, I'll try to remember that. Let's see here. This very tall, vertical rock magically appeared overnight. One day it was an ordinary flat rock, but overnight it rose and stretched until it poked through the clouds above the tallest treetops. The story began one late summer afternoon when a boy and girl were playing in a stream that crossed through their valley. At the end of the day, they climbed out of the water and shivered in the cool air. "I'm cold," said the boy to his sister. "Look at that rock," said the sister. "The sun's shining upon it. The moss on top looks as soft as a blanket." This sounds a lot like the inchworm story. I wonder if it's going to be the same. So they laid on the sunny rock, stretched out on its thick green moss, and fell asleep under the warm sun. While they slept, no one knows how or why, but the rock inched upward bit by bit. Oh, this is the inchworm story again. Oh, this is the inchworm story again. I'm gonna skip this one. We already read. Where would you like to travel to outside of the US? I actually want to go visit Japan. I've been learning Japanese a little bit here and there, and I'm a huge weeb. I'd like to go visit maybe the countryside of Japan rather than, the big Tokyo hub area, like the big city area. I'd rather go visit like the countryside. Like Osaka or something. Let's see here. The Maiden and the Boy Who Vanished. This one might be good. This one might be good. Long, long ago, there lived a very rich nobleman who had a wonderful baby boy. The night before his son was born, the father had a dream. He dreamt that the only way of his son would reach adulthood would be if the child's feet never touched the earth until he was 12 years old. It sounds spooky. The Japanese countryside sounds spooky. What, because of Higurashi? Let's see. Great care was taken so that this should be avoided, and only trustworthy nurses were hired to look after this child. As the years passed, he was always diligently guarded. Sometimes he was carried in his nurse's arms. Sometimes the servants carried him in a chair, but the boy's feet never touched the ground. So it passed until the child was nearly 12 years old. Now when the child's 12th birthday drew near, the father began to plan a magnificent feast to celebrate his son's release. One day, while the preparations were in progress, a frightful noise, followed by most unearthly yells, shook the castle. In her terror, the nurse dropped the child and ran to the window. At that very instant, the noises stopped. On turning around to pick up the boy again, imagining her alarm when she found him no longer there, with a cry, she realized that she had disobeyed her master's orders. The child's feet had touched the floor, and now the child was gone. Ooh. Hearing her screams and wails, all the servants of the castle ran to her. The father soon followed, asking, "What is the matter? What has happened? Where is my son?" The nurse, trembling and weeping, told of the boy who vanished, and so soon before his 12th birthday. No words can describe the anguish of the father's heart. He sent servants in every direction to hunt for the boy. He gave orders, he begged, he threw away money left and right. He promised everything, anything, if only his son might be brought back to him. Search was made immediately, but no trace of the boy could be found. He had vanished as completely as if he had never existed. Many years later, the unhappy nobleman learned that in one of the most beautiful rooms of the castle, footsteps, as if someone were walking up and down the halls, and dismal cries and groans were heard each night at midnight. Anxious to follow up on the matter, for he thought it might in some way give a clue as to the whereabouts of his lost son, he made known that a reward of 300 gold pieces would be given to anyone who would watch for one entire night in the haunted room. Many were wailing, but had not the courage to stay till the end, for at midnight, when they had heard dismal groans and footsteps coming closer and closer, they would shriek and run away rather than risk their lives for 300 pieces of gold. The poor father was in despair and knew not how to discover the truth of this dark mystery. Now close to the castle there dwelt a widow, a miller by trade, who had 3 daughters. The family was very poor and hardly earned enough to meet their daily needs. When they heard of the midnight noises in the castle and the promised reward of 300 gold pieces, the eldest daughter said, "As we are so very poor, surely we have nothing to lose. We might try to earn these 300 gold pieces by remaining in the room for one night. I should like to try, mother, if you'll let me." Oh, there they all are, waiting in the room together. Oh, you guys can see the picture. Oh no, hold on. There you go. There's a nice illustration for you guys. The mother hardly knew what to say. She was worried, of course, because she had heard of the terrible noises that had frightened so many others away. But when she thought of the poverty and the difficulty they had day to day in setting food on the table, she gave permission for her eldest daughter to remain one night in the haunted room. Then the daughter went to the castle to ask the nobleman's consent. "Have you really the courage to watch for a whole night in the room haunted by ghosts?" said the nobleman. "Are you sure you are not afraid, my good girl?" "I am willing to try, and I can start this very night," said the eldest daughter. I only ask you to give me some food to cook for my supper, for I am very hungry." Oh, I just realized my sound levels were going a little high there. Let's be a little bit quiet. Sorry about that. I'm gonna lower my voice a little bit. I was watching the levels and they were spiking. There we go. Okay. Orders were given that she should be supplied with everything she wanted, and indeed enough food was given to her, not only for one supper, but for 3. With the food, some dry firewood, and a candle, she entered the room. She first lit the fire and put on her saucepans. Then she laid the table and made the bed. This filled up the early part of the evening. The time passed so quickly that she was surprised to hear the clock strike 12. At the last stroke, footsteps, as if of someone walking, shook the room, and dismal groans filled the air. The frightened girl ran from one corner to the other, but could see no one. But the footsteps and the groans only got louder. "Oh no, you're not very pretty. Oh no, you're not very pretty. Oh no." Suddenly a young man appeared. He approached her and asked, "For whom is this food cooked?" Startled, she said, "For myself." The gentle face of the stranger saddened, and then he asked, "And this table, for whom is it laid?" After a moment she said, "For myself." The brow of the young man clouded over, and the beautiful blue eyes filled with tears as he asked once more, "And this fire, for whom have you built it?" "For myself," replied she. Tears fell from his eyes as he waved his arms and vanished. Aw, he's sad because nobody gave him any food. Next morning she told the nobleman of all that had happened in the room, but without mentioning the painful impression her answer seemed to make on the stranger. She gratefully received the 300 gold crowns for having stayed the whole night in the haunted room, and the father was thankful to have at least heard something that might possibly lead to the discovery of his son. On the following day, the second daughter, having been told by her sister what to expect and how to answer the stranger, went to the castle to offer her services and to earn another 300 gold pieces. The nobleman agreed, and she was provided with everything she might want. Without loss of time, she entered the room, lit the fire, put on the saucepan, spread the white cloth upon the table, made the bed, and waited for the hour of midnight. When the young stranger appeared and asked, "For whom is this food prepared? For whom is this table laid? For whom is this fire built?" she answered as her sister and had bidden her to, "For me, for myself only." As on the night before, tears ran down his face. He waved his arms and disappeared. Next morning she told the nobleman all that had happened in the room, except the sad impression her answer seemed to make upon the stranger. The 300 gold pieces were given to her, and she went home. On the third day, the youngest daughter wanted to try her fortune. Now that the widow dreaded to expose her youngest daughter to any danger, but as the 2 older ones had succeeded in staying in the room and bringing home 300 gold pieces, she allowed her to take a chance. So with the instructions from her 2 older sisters as to what she should expect and what she should say, and with the nobleman's consent and abundant provisions, she entered the haunted room. Having lit the fire, put on the saucepans, laid the table, and made the bed, she waited with hope and fear for the midnight hour. As 12 o'clock struck, the room was shaken by the footsteps of someone who walked up and down, and the air was filled with cries and groans. The girl looked everywhere, but no living being could she see. Suddenly there stood before her a young man. He pointed to the table and asked, "For whom have you prepared this food?" Now her sisters had told her exactly what to expect and what to say, but when she looked into the sad eyes of the stranger, she was confused and silent. Aw, they're looking at each other lovingly. He's got a big chin. Well, you do not answer me. For whom is the food prepared? He asked impatiently, somewhat confused. She stuttered, I prepared it for myself, but for you too. But you too are welcome to it. At these words, At these words, his brow grew more relaxed. And this table, for whom is it spread? For myself, said the girl. And then she added, unless you will honor me by being my guest. A smile brightened his face. And this fire? For whom have you built it? For myself, but you are welcome to sit by it with me. He clapped his hands for joy and replied, ah, yes, that's right. I accept the invitation with pleasure, but please wait for me. I must first thank my kind friends for the care they have taken of me. At that moment, a deep opening appeared in the middle of the floor. The youth descended into the hole. Uh-oh. Does the hole lead to hell? Is this gonna lead to hell? What's going on? She, anxious to see what lay below the floor, followed him, holding on to his mantle. Thus they both reached the bottom. Down below, a new world opened itself before her eyes. To the right flowed a river of liquid gold. To the left rose high mountains of solid gold. In the center lay a large meadow covered with billions of flowers. The stranger went on. The girl behind him followed unnoticed. As he went, he saluted the field of flowers as his old friends. Then they came to a forest where the trees were all of gold. Many birds flew around the young man, perching on his head and shoulders. While he spoke to and petted each one, the girl broke off a branch from one of the golden trees and hid it as a remembrance of this strange golden land. They're both a little, they're kind of homely. But they love each other, and that's what's important. It's not about how you look, it's that you care about each other, right? Leaving the forest of gold, they reached a wood where all the trees were of silver. Animals of various kinds crowded around the youth. He spoke to each one and stroked and petted them. Meanwhile, the girl broke off a branch of silver from one of the trees. When the young stranger had said goodbye to all his friends, he returned to the paths he had come. Oh, his friends were all animals. That's so cute. When the young stranger had... Oh, no, I read that. I'm sorry. Arriving at the foot of the opening to the castle room, he began to rise, she coming slightly after, holding on to his mantle. Up they went higher and higher until they reached the opening of the room to the castle. The floor closed up behind them without a trace. The girl returned to her place by the fire, where she was sitting when the young man approached. All my farewells have been spoken, said he. Now we can have supper. Well, I don't know, Tasu, if the illustrations were made in the 15th century, but you could be right. If that was the 15th century, maybe that's the style they were going for. She hastened to place upon the table the food she had prepared before, and sitting side by side in front of the fire, they supped together. When they had finished, he said, "Now it is time to rest." He lay down on the bed, and the girl placed by his side the gold and silver branches she had picked in the sparkling world below the floor. In a few moments he was sleeping peacefully. She then settled comfortably in a soft chair beside him. The next day the sun was already high in the sky, and yet the girl had not come out of the room and to give an account of what had happened. Uh-oh, what are they doing in that room? Oh no, what are they doing in the room? Guys, what are they doing in the room? The nobleman became impatient, pacing the floor and worrying about what might have happened to the girl. At last he determined to go and see for himself what happened. Oh no! Picture to yourself his surprise and joy when on entering the haunted chamber he saw his long-lost son sleeping on the bed, while beside him sat the widow's beautiful youngest daughter. At that moment the son awoke. The father, almost overwhelmed with joy, summoned the attendants of the castle to rejoice. He's like, not only have I found my son, but he got laid. Yay! Then the young man saw the 2 branches of gold and silver and said with astonishment to the girl, "What do I see? Did you follow me down there, knowing that these 2 branches will make a splendid palace for our future dwelling?" Thereupon he took the branches and threw them out of the window. Immediately there appeared a magnificent palace made entirely of gold and trimmed with silver. There they lived happily as man and wife, the nobleman's son and the miller's youngest daughter, forever after. Hi, Rain the Cat. Welcome to stream. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a great day. Today we're doing a comfy ASMR Ask Me Anything stream. Oh, call you Rain? Okay, I'll call you Rain. Welcome, Rain. How are you doing? Hope you're having a great day. And that's the end of that story. Let's see, what next? What story shall I read next? Or did you guys have some questions? Since we're in between stories, you can ask a question if you want. Do you like swimming or going to the beach or both? I don't care for the beach. Actually, I really don't like sand, but I do like swimming. I took swimming most of high school for my PE credits. All 4 years of high school, I took swimming, so I'm actually a pretty good swimmer. Can I suggest a story? Sure, you can suggest a story. If you have like a link to it or something, I'll read a story if you like. Oh, you got a story? Okay, cool. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, if it lets me open it. There we go. Rain says, also, I like that you're a family-friendly VTuber because most of the VTubers I find are 18 plus. Oh no. Well, yeah, there are quite a few 18 plus VTubers out there. There's quite a few of us family-friendly ones though, too, if you look. I actually have a few of them suggested under my my host listings, my channel listings that I like to host. I would recommend Vapor Bobble. They're a really good family-friendly furry VTuber as well. It's Tommy Fox is another one. There's actually quite a few really nice family-friendly furry VTubers out there if you know where to find them. Oh, let's see. Okay, Sprooks von Grimm. Oh, okay. Let's see, English. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm not gonna read the German. I'd probably screw that up really poorly. Oh yeah, Vanessa. Yes, Vanessa is a really good family-friendly VTuber. Oh, it's Dutch. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I can't tell the difference, honestly. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Oh, it's perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine, Brain. Don't worry about it at all. It's perfectly fine. We can have conversations in between stories, and I don't mind at all. Let's see here. Okay, so this story is a story that Nugular linked, and it's called Mother Hulda. I have never heard of this one. No, I haven't, actually. Let's see. A widow had 2 daughters. One was pretty and industrious, the other was ugly and lazy. And as the ugly one was her own daughter, she loved her much the best, and the pretty one was made to do all the work and be the drudge of the house. Every day the poor girl had to sit by a well on the high road and spin her until her fingers bled. Now it happened once that as the spindle was bloody, she dipped it into the well to wash it, but it slipped out of her hand and fell in. Then she began to cry and ran to her stepmother and told her of her misfortune, and her stepmother scolded her without mercy and said in her rage, "As you have let the spindle fall in, you must go and fetch it out again." Then the girl went back again to the well, not knowing what to do. In the despair of her heart, she jumped down into the well the same way the spindle had gone. After that, she knew nothing, and when she came to herself, she was in a beautiful meadow. A flying start. And when she came to herself, she was in a beautiful meadow, and the sun was shining on the flowers that grew around her. And she walked on through the meadow until she came to a baker's oven that was full of bread, and the bread called out to her, "Oh, take me out, or I shall burn. I am baked enough already." Listen, guys, if you're making bread and the bread starts talking to you, I think you have bigger concerns than getting the bread out of the oven. I think you should probably not eat that bread. Then she drew near, and with a baker's peel she took out all the loaves one after another, and she went farther on until she came to a tree weighed down with apples, and it called out to her, "Oh, shake me, we apples are all of us ripe." Then she shook the tree until all the apples fell like rain, and she shook until there were no more to fall. And when she had gathered them together in a heap, she went on further. At last she came to a little house, and an old woman was peeping out of it. But she had such great teeth that the girl was terrified and about to run away. Only the old woman called her back. "What are you afraid of, my dear child? Come and live with me, and if you do the housework well and orderly, things shall go well with you. You must take great pains to make my bed well and shake it up thoroughly, so that the feathers fly about, and then in the world it snows, for I am Mother Hulda." She had great teeth. Jeebus. Let's see here. I turned that off because there's no illustrations. Let's see here. As the old woman spoke so kindly, the girl took courage, consented, and went to her work. She did everything to the old woman's satisfaction and shook the bed with such a will that the feathers flew about like snowflakes. And so she led a good life, had never a cross word, but boiled and roast meat every day. When she had lived a long time with Mother Hulda, she began to feel sad, not knowing herself what ailed her. At last she began to think she must be homesick, and although she was 1,000 times better off than at home where she was, yet she had a great longing to go home. At last she said to her mistress, "I am homesick, and although I am very well off here, I cannot stay any longer. I must go back to my own home." Mother Hulda answered, "It pleases me well that you should wish to go home, and as you have served me faithfully, I will undertake to send you there." She took her by the hand and led her to a large door standing open, and as she was passing through it, there fell upon her a heavy shower of gold, and the gold hung all about her, so that she was covered with it. "All this is yours, because you have been so industrious," said Mother Hulda, and, besides that, she returned to her spindle, the very same that she had dropped in the well. And then the door was shut again, and the girl found herself back again in the world, not far from her mother's house. And as she passed through the yard, the cock stood on the top of the wall and cried, "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Our golden girl has come home too." Then when she went out to her mother, and as she had returned covered with gold, she was well received. So the girl related all her history and what had happened to her, and when the mother heard how she had came to have such great riches, she began to wish that her ugly and idle daughter might have the same good fortune. So she sent her to sit by the well and spin, and in order to make her spindle bloody, she put her hand into the thorn hedge. Then she drew the spindle into the well and jumped in herself. She found herself, like her sister, in the beautiful meadow, and followed the same path. And when she came to the baker's oven, the bread cried out, "Oh, take me out, or I shall burn. I am quite done already." But the lazy bones answered, "I have no desire to black my hands," and went on farther. Soon she came to the apple tree, who called out, "Oh, shake me, we apples are all of us ripe." But she answered, "That is all very fine. Suppose one of you should fall on my head," and went on further. When she came to Mother Hulda's house, she did not feel afraid, as she knew beforehand of her great teeth. The old lady has great and clean teeth. Yeah, this is sus. And entered into her service at once. The first day she put her hand well to the work and was industrious, and did everything Mother Hulda bade her, because of the gold she had expected. But the second day she began to be idle, and the third day still more so that she would not get up in the morning. Neither did she make Mother Hulda's bed as it ought to have been made, and did not shake it for the feathers to fly about. So that Mother Hulda soon grew tired of her. Excuse me, that was my phone. I'm very sorry. Hold on just a moment. Oh my gosh, phone, why are you doing this today? No. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just checking my phone. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see, where was I? Let's see. So that Mother Hulda soon grew tired of her, and gave her a warning, at which the lazy thing was well pleased, and thought that now the shower of gold was coming. So Mother Hulda led her to the door, and as soon as she was in the doorway, instead of the shower of gold, a great kettle full of pitch was emptied over her. "Oh no! Oh, that'll burn your skin off." "That is the reward for your service," said Mother Hulda, and shut the door. So the lazy girl came home all covered with pitch, and the cock on the top of the well, seeing her, cried, "Cock-a-doodle-doo, our dirty girl has come home too." That's rough. And the pitch remained sticking to her fast, and never as long as she lived could she get it off. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, pitch is fine by itself. It's flammable, though. That's the issue. Oh, it's flammable. Oh, I see. Oh, geez, that's horrible. She could never get it off. Well, that's what you get for being lazy, I guess, sometimes. Let's see here. I'm just checking my phone real quick because I did have a message and I didn't get a chance to check it, but did you guys have any questions for me while I'm checking my phone? It was a little dark, wasn't it? It was one of the grim fairy tales. You guys have Nuclear to thank for that one. Oh, hydrate. Thank you very much. I will. Let's see here. Okay. I'm checking my messages real quick. I apologize. My commissions are open today, so I do have messages that I need to check every once in a while. I'm just checking to see if I missed anything. Oh yeah, you asked that earlier? Oh, okay. Bike riding or walking, but also I added guiding pets. Yes, I mean, I have Bonbon, as you guys know, Bonbon. Actually, where is Bonbon? Oh, he went to the room. I also have a turtle. I have a bunny and a turtle. And I know the rabbit in here jokes. Yes, haha. Let me see here. Biking or bike riding or walking. I prefer walking actually. Sometimes I go on walks around the neighborhood at night because it's quiet. I live in a area that's near a forest, and it's nice to go out walking sometimes around. One time I saw like a huge group of deer while walking around outside at night. It's nice and peaceful here. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just checking to see whether or not I got any commissions in my inboxes, because like I said, my commissions are open today and I want to make sure I don't miss anybody's stuff. So I'm just checking real quick. I'm just checking. Let's see here. Okay, nothing new. Okay, we're good. Oh, cats or dogs? Oh, that's why you were asking earlier. I'm sorry, Rain. I like both, actually. I'm more of a dog person personally, but I do like both. And if I wasn't allergic to cats, I would probably have a cat. Because my apartments allow cats here. You're a cat person? That's perfectly fine. Yeah, and some people have a preference. I just like animals in general. I like all animals. Oh, yeah. Being allergic to cats is a shame, because it's like you can't touch them, and it's like cats know. It's like cats know that you can't touch them, so they come over to you and try to get your attention. Like, cats only want your attention when you can't give them any attention, or you don't want to give them any attention. It's sad. Let's see. Oh, another story? Okay, thanks, Nuclear. Do you go to cons? How do you feel about meetups asking for an autograph? I used to go to conventions a lot, back before the Fire Nation attacked. If you know what I mean. Before the Fire Nation attacked, I used to go to conventions a lot. I even sold my art at a few conventions back in the day. Although I didn't do very well, I like broke even. I didn't make much of a profit on it. How do I feel about meetups or asking for an autograph? Like, I might do meetups in the future if I ever get my 3D model done for VR chat and I get some like tracking software, for VR chat, like a Quest 2 or something. I would like to do a meetup in like VR chat. That would be fun. Autographs, as far as autographs go, I've never been asked for an autograph before. Yeah, trackers. Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry. The word was slipping from my mind. But yeah, like some VR chat trackers and like a 3D model. Once I have those, I might do some meetups in VR chat. That would be fun. Yes, they are getting better. Yes, they are. And cheaper. Yes, that's true too. Yeah, the Quest 2 is like $2.99 now, which is pretty cool. I'm probably gonna save up for that. You do need room scale VR. Oh, room scale VR. Okay. And not something like the Quest. Oh, is the Quest not a room scale? Oh, I see. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, so let's see. Nuclear had this story they wanted me to read. So I'll read that real quick. How would you feel about someone cosplaying as Pixie? Oh, I would be very flattered. And also I'd be like, give me cosplay. I want to do it. I would be very flattered if someone cosplayed me. That would be very, very exciting for me. The index is room scale. Oh, the index. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Maybe I'll put that one on my throne. Or, oh, sorry, I'm talking full volume again. Sorry. Maybe I'll put that one on my throne. Or you guys can even suggest it for my throne wish list. Let's see. I'm gonna read the next story here real quick. The gardener and the fakir. Fakir? Fakir? That's a, that, did I pronounce that right? I don't know. I have a throne, but I haven't updated it yet. I'm moving. Oh, that's okay. Well, yeah, throne is pretty fun. I hope that your move goes well. Throne is like a wish list, like Amazon wish list, but you can make it so that people can't see your address. It's more private and personal, and people can suggest things to it. Let me show you guys real quick mine. Actually, we can take a little detour real quick. Let me show you guys my throne wish list here. It's pretty nifty, man. People can buy you stuff and it's completely like, you can make it anonymous too. You can make it anonymous too. Let's see here. Hold on, let me put it on screen here. Where is it? Where is it? I'll find it. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. Did it not load it up on screen? Hold on. Why are you doing this? Stop it. It doesn't want to capture my my screen all of a sudden for some reason. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, you just submitted the index as a suggestion? Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let me hold on. There we go. Got it. Okay, yeah. So here's Throne. Here's Throne. Let's see here. Suggested gifts. Let's see here. Ah, there we go. Let's view this. It should say, oh, Valve Index. Okay, that's the one. Okay, ooh, that's expensive. Oh my goodness. That's gonna take some time to save up for then. Okay, we'll approve that though. Let's see. Hold on. It's like $999. Almost 1K. That's, whew, that's rough. We're gonna put this under video games. Okay. There we go. But let me show you guys mine real quick here. This is mine now. I have it's semi-organized now. Let's see here. I thought I had it better organized. Let me look here real quick. Well, it's not organized here, but you can organize things by category here. This is just some of the stuff I have on my wish list. Some of this stuff is for Bonbon. Some there's like snacks on here and video game stuff. Let me take the Oculus Quest 2 off then. Oh, I still have some of the candy canes. I still have some of the candy canes from the candy cane stream up on here. Let me get rid of those. Yeah, let's get rid of those. Lots of Dr. Peep. Yes, I like Dr. Peep. Oh my gosh, yeah, Coca-Cola coffee's real good too. That's another one of my faves. Let's see here. Oh, Dr. Pepper cream with cream soda. Good stuff. Yeah. Lots of good stuff on here. There's also some games on here that I'd like to play with you guys as well. But yeah, that's my throne wish list. But yeah, if you guys want to set up your own throne, I can give you guys a code if you need. It's kind of one of those things where you need a code from somebody in order to join it. Kind of like Toy House, if you've ever heard of Toy House. Oh, you submitted another gift? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll look at that real quick here. Oh, hi, Jimbo. Hello. Welcome to stream. How are you doing today? Sorry. I'm having a hard time whispering. I get excited and I forget to whisper. Hi, Jimbo. How are you doing today? You having a good day? Let's see here. Suggested gifts. Let's see. Hold on. It's nice, comfy stream today. Oh, vegan snickerdoodle cookie mix. Oh. Oh, that looks really cute. The cushion pad. Oh, those all look so cute. Oh, those look so cute. Your excited voice is just as comfy. Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you, I appreciate that. Oh, that's neat. I'll have to look those over later. But yeah, let's get back to stories now. I'm gonna turn this off real quick here. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Bedtime stories. Here we go. Okay, so this one was submitted by my nuclear. Oh yes, go ahead and feel free to contribute your points to the sketch request stream challenge. But this is the gardener and the fakir. Let me just scoot in a little bit closer here to my desk. Just a sec. There we go. Okay. Sorry. I'm just trying to get closer to the mic so I don't have to lean over so much. Okay, there we go. There was once a fabulously wealthy sultan. One day he received a gift from an emir friend. It looked like a kind of onion. "This is a tulip bulb," said the emir. "Plant it in the ground and it will grow into a beautiful flower. I've brought a few thousand for you." The sultan was not impressed by the tulip thingies. But his old gardener did plant one of them in the ground. After the emir had left, the sultan grew sick. Even the doctor could not cure him. One day a tramp walked up to the gardener. The gardener gave him a drink and the tramp played his strange-looking flute. The gardener listened attentively. Suddenly, a red flower emerged from the ground very quickly. The tramp said, "I am Fakir. The sultan is sick because he is too rich. He will only feel better if he can learn to value the beauty of a single flower." Uh-oh. Stream's lagging? Oh, no lags here. Okay. Might need a refresh if the stream is lagging for you. He will only feel better if he can learn to value the beauty of a single flower. The gardener placed the tulip next to the sultan's bed, and he perked up noticeably. The doctor told the gardener to plant all the tulip thingies he had. All these other bedtime stories are like really nice, beautiful, old-timey language, and this one's like tulip thingies. He had, in the hope that this would cure the sultan completely. Hold on a sec. The following day, the sultan appeared on his balcony. The fakir played on his flute below, and hundreds of the red flowers poked their heads up out of the earth. It was an amazing sight. The tears of joy streamed down the sultan's cheeks. But would he ever be cured completely? Oh, where's the rest of the story? Where's the rest of the story? Do I have to... Oh, I have to click on the little horn to continue? Oh, that's cute. Hold on. You guys can't see. I'm sorry. Oh, this is cute. Do I get to continue the story? Oh no, that's really loud. Okay, that's enough out of you. Where's the rest of the story? I'm confused. Where's the rest of the story? Do I need to click on something? It doesn't say that he would be cured. Oh, so this is the end of the story? Okay. We just finished reading a story about the gardener and the fakir. And it ends with this little trumpet playing at the end. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me load up the other bedtime stories we had real quick. Let's see. Oh, here they are. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's do the painting and the cat. Yeah. We'll do the painting and the cat. That sounds cute. The painting and the cat. This is a fictional story meant to teach a moral lesson. Oh. Oh, this is... Oh, it's about the nature of perception. Okay. This story is adapted from a fable written by Mark Twain. Okay. Once upon a time, an artist painted a small and very beautiful picture. He hung it on the wall across from a mirror so that he could see its reflection in the mirror. Said the artist, "This doubles the distance and softens it. It's twice as lovely as it was before." You should do more ASMR streams like this. You actually do a good job of having a soothing voice. Aww. You guys. Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys. You're making me blush. Stop. The animals out in the woods heard of this through the artist's house cat, who was greatly admired by them because he was so learned, and so refined and civilized, and so polite and highbred, and could tell them so much which they didn't know before and were not certain about afterward. They were much excited about this new piece of gossip, and they asked questions so as to get a full understanding of it. Their first question was what a picture is, and the cat explained. "It is a flat thing," he said, "wonderfully flat, marvelously flat, enchantingly flat and elegant, and oh so beautiful." That excited them almost to a frenzy, and they said they would give their world to see it. And the bear asked, "What is it that makes it so beautiful?" "It is the looks of it," said the cat. "Flat is justice," said the cat. I'm just joking. This filled them with admiration and uncertainty, and they were more excited than ever. And the cow asked, "What is a mirror?" "It is a hole in the wall," said the cat. "You look in it, and there you see the picture, and it is so dainty and charming and ethereal and inspiring in its unimaginable beauty that your head turns round and round, and you almost swoon with ecstasy." The donkey had not said anything as yet. He now began to throw doubts. He said there had never been anything as beautiful as this before, and probably wasn't now. He said that when it took a whole basketful of adjectives to whoop up a thing of beauty, it was time for suspicion. I don't know, sounds sus. Sounds too sus. I don't know. It was easy to see that these doubts were having an effect upon the animals, so the cat went off offended. The subject was dropped for a couple of days, but in the meantime curiosity was taking a fresh start, and there was a revival of interest. Then the animals assailed the donkey for spoiling what could possibly have been a pleasure to them, on a mere suspicion that the picture was not beautiful, without any evidence such was the case. Look at the donkey, guys. I don't know. I don't know about this mirror, guys. The donkey was not troubled. He was calm and said there was one way to find out who was in the right, himself or the cat. He would go and look into that hole and come back and tell what he found there. The animals felt relieved and grateful and asked him to go at once, which he did. But he did not know where he ought to stand, and so, through error, he stood between the picture and the mirror. The result was that the picture had no chance and didn't show up. He returned home and said, "That cat lied. There was nothing in that hole but a donkey. There wasn't a sign of a flat, beautiful thing visible. It was a handsome donkey and friendly, but just a donkey and nothing more." The elephant asked, "Did you see it good and clear? Were you close to it?" "I saw it good and clear, O Hathi, king of beasts. I was so close that I touched noses with it. This is very strange, said the elephant. That cat was always truthful before, as far as we could make it out, let another witness try. Go, Baloo, look in the hole and come and report. So the bear went. When he came back, he said, both the cat and the donkey have lied. There was nothing in the hole but a bear. Oh man, a bear named Baloo. Wonder where that came from. Great was the surprise and puzzlement of the animals. Each was now more anxious to make the test himself and get to the straight truth. The elephant sent them one at a time. First the cow. She found nothing in the hole but a cow. The tiger found nothing in it but a tiger. The lion found nothing in it but a lion. The leopard found nothing in it but a leopard. The camel found a leopard. Oh, no. The camel found a camel and nothing more. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And then Hathi, the elephant, declared he would have the truth if he had to go and fetch it himself. When he returned, he abused his whole subjectory for liars and was in an appeasable fury with the mental blindness of the cat. He said that nobody but a nearsighted fool could see that there was nothing in the hole but an elephant. Oh, so here's the moral by Mark Twain. You can find in text whatever you bring if you stand between it and the mirror of your imagination. So I guess they're just saying anything can be interpreted any way you want. Is that what they're saying with the moral? You guys let me know. What do you guys think the moral is? What do you think that moral means? You can find in a text whatever you bring if you stand between it and the mirror of your imagination. What do you guys think? I think that means that it can mean whatever you want it to mean if you imagine it. And you can't, maybe you're not seeing it for what it really is because you're jumping to conclusions. Maybe that's the moral. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? Any more questions, guys? I'm gonna look for the next story real quick. I think I'll do a caterpillar's voice. I'll wait a couple more seconds just to make sure I don't miss anybody. I'm just gonna check my commission forms and a couple other things real quick. This is nice. It's very nice, calming music. Zeplander posted some steak and potatoes with corn on the server. Oh, I'm jelly. Oh, I want that. That looks good. Okay, let's go ahead and read the next story then. A Caterpillar's Voice, illustrated by Elizabeth Roca. One nice day, Caterpillar was out for a walk and came to a cave. My, said Caterpillar. Ara, said Caterpillar. Ara. This looks like a very nice cave. Caterpillar looked in the door of the cave. I do not see anyone in there. He said, I will go in. Caterpillar went inside. And so Caterpillar inched up on top of the rock, and that was where he fell asleep. Right at the very same time, Hare, who lived in the cave, was also out for a walk. When Hare came home, he saw marks on the ground. That's a cute bunny. This woke up Caterpillar, and Caterpillar boomed in a very loud voice, "It is I, yes I, who stamps rhinos in the earth and stomps elephants into dust." Hare hopped about in fear. What can a small animal like me do with a beast who stamps rhinos and elephants? Soon Jackal passed by. Hare said, "Friend Jackal, someone has come inside my cave. Will you please help me?" Jackal said, "Yes, I am very happy to help." Jackal went up to the cave and barked loudly. "Who is in the house of my friend Hare?" Caterpillar called out in a voice that rocked the earth. "It is I, yes I, who stamps rhinos in the earth and stomps elephants into dust." On hearing this, Jackal thought in fear, "I can do nothing against such a creature," and Jackal ran off as fast as he could. Then Leopard passed by. Hare told Leopard everything that happened, and Leopard said, "I am bigger than Jackal, and I am more loud." At the door of the cave, Leopard yelled, "Who is in the house of my friend Hare?" Caterpillar called back in the same way he had done before. Leopard was also surprised. He thought, "If this creature stamps rhinos and elephants, I do not want to know or think what it could do to me." And Leopard ran off very fast. Next, Rhino passed by. "Everyone knows how big and scary I am," grunted Rhino. He marched up to Hare's cave. He snorted and pawed the ground with his very big feet. But when Rhino asked who was inside the cave, he heard Caterpillar's booming reply. He said, "This is not good. He can stomp me into the earth. I am out of here." And Rhino ran away, crashing through the forest. "I am out of here." And Rhino ran away, crashing through the... Wait, why is that repeated twice? Oh. He was just so out of there, guys. He just had to say it twice. He's like, "I am out of here. I am out of here." Oh no. He's so scared. He looks around. I know they were trying to do a perspective thing with the picture here, but he looks like a very round boy. A very round boy. Look at this frog in the background. He's been doing nothing this whole time. He's here, and now he's up here. Maybe he's gonna help next. Even Elephant tried to help. But like the others, when Elephant heard what Caterpillar had to say, he knew he had no wish to be stomped underfoot like dust, and he ran off very fast too. Hare did not know what to do. Then Frog passed by. "What is wrong?" said Frog, and Hare told him. "Maybe I could help you," said Frog. "I wish you could," said Hare, but Jackal tried to help, and Leopard tried to help, even Rhino and Elephant tried to help, and none of them could. "Still," said Frog, "let me try." Jackal, Leopard, Rhino, and Elephant heard their names spoken, and they all came up to see what was going on. "What, you?" laughed Jackal. "You are too small. You cannot help," said Rhino. All the animals laughed. "That's mean." "He wants to," said Hare. "Why not let Frog try?" "Yeah, let the frog try." And so Frog went to the cave door and asked who was inside. He received the same reply as he had given to the others. Then Frog went more close and shouted, "I, who am the strongest of all, have come at last. I am the one who stamps those who stamp the rhinos. I am the one who stomps underfoot those who stomp the elephants." When Caterpillar inside Hare's cave heard this, he trembled. He could see the shadow of the frog coming closer and closer. He thought, "After all, I am only a caterpillar." And the caterpillar inched out of the hare's cave, hoping that no one would see him, but they did see him. Oh no, they're gonna laugh and make fun of him. "I would never dream of staying in that cave," said Caterpillar with his nose in the air like a tsundere. "An echo like that is far too crude for a fancy creature like me." As Caterpillar sniffed away, all the other animals laughed at the trouble such a small thing had given them. That's kind of cute, but I feel bad for Caterpillar. But Caterpillar was kind of being a hime tsundere. "Never in that cave, baka." "I didn't like that cave anyway, baka." Let's see. I think we have time for a couple more questions and then one more story, and I'll probably go to my thank yous and end stream. But did you guys have any more questions? Any more questions for me? Do 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 do. Rainy days, snow days, or sunny days? Ooh, I like rainy days the most. I love the sound of rain. We can actually hear the sound of rain right now if we listen to the music. Hold on. It's nice. Let me turn up the rain a little bit. That's nice rain noises. Nice rain noises. Do 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 do. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Summer or winter? If I had to pick one, I would pick winter because I can't stand the heat. And winter's nice because you can be comfy and cozy in blankets. Fall is my favorite season though. If I have to pick a season that I like the most, I like fall. But if I have to pick between summer and winter, I would pick winter because I would rather get cozy up in a blankie than sweat my butt off. We'll do one more question and then we'll go back to stories. Ooh, coffee or tea? Coffee. Coffee always. Oh, one of my relatives got me, actually, two of my relatives got me Starbucks gift cards. Sorry, I made my model freak out there for a second. Got me Starbucks gift cards for Christmas. So I have like almost like $100 in Starbucks gift card. And I've been going to Starbucks a lot lately. And before I got the gift cards, I barely ever went to Starbucks. Like it was a special thing I did maybe like once a month to treat myself. And look like you twitched both there in real life in the model. No, I made my model twitch because I interrupted the webcam. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of like frappuccinos. I think so far my favorite frappuccino has to be either the caramel ribbon crunch or the was it the chocolate mocha cookie? Yeah, that one's really good too. Okay, so let's go back to our last story for the evening. Let's see here. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do. Oh, let's do a surprise in the oven. Oh, this is a Canadian folk tale. Caramel ribbon, you're a raccoon after my heart. Yeah, it's so good. It's got a little bit of saltiness, but it... Oh, wait, is this... Oh, they have somebody else reading it. That's pretty neat. I'm just gonna read it, though. So this is A Surprise in the Oven, and it's illustrated by Tristan Liu. Once upon a time, a plump old woman named Tante Adela lived in French Canada. She lived all alone with her big gray cat and the cows in her barn. One morning she got up very early as it was baking day and there was much to do. She took a load of wood outside to her oven. Now why would an oven door be open? She said. She poked a stick inside to see that no leaves or twigs had blown in, but the stick would not go far. Something was in there. The old woman bent over to look in. When she saw what she saw, Tante Adela slammed the oven door shut. She ran out of her yard and down the road as fast as she could. At Felix Bell's farm, she saw the neighbor drawing a bucket of water from the well. "Felix, Felix," she called out, "come quick, there is a skunk in my oven." "Oh no." "Are you sure?" said Felix. "Maybe it's your cat." "Of course I am sure," said Tante Adela. "Does my cat have a white stripe down its back?" "I will come as soon as I draw this bucket of water," said Felix. Tante Adela turned and dashed back to the road. She headed for the next farm, the farm of Louis Ross.
After all, 3 heads are better than 2. Louis, Louis, she called, out of breath. Come right away. There is a skunk in my oven. A skunk, said Louis. Are you sure it is not a scrap of old fur coat you may have thrown away by mistake? Why would I throw away a fur coat? Said Tante Adela. Am I the kind of person who would do that? You have a point, said Louis. I will come over as soon as I have finished feeding the chickens. The old woman turned to the road and limped to the farm of Samuel Roy. Samuel, Samuel, she cried out, you must come to my farm. There is a skunk in my oven. Are you sure? Said Samuel. Maybe you saw a shadow inside of as you opened the door. Does a shadow have a bushy tail? Said Adela. Does the shadow grit its teeth at me and snark? I don't think so. I will come right over, said Samuel, just as soon as I finish weeding the garden. So Adela, I'm just going to call her Adela. So Adela went from farm to farm looking for help. By the time she made it back home, Felix and Louis were already there. Soon after, Samuel came too, and others who had heard about the skunk in Adela's oven. Yup, there's a skunk in there all right, said Madame Ross, who had opened and closed the door. Yup, that's a skunk. I know that, said Adela. The question is what to do about it. I will run home and get my gun, said Felix. That will take care of that. No, don't kill him. No. No, no, cried Adela. Think of the smell. Oh, yes. Think of the smell, not the animal's life. Oh, yes. She will not be able to bake bread in there for a month, said Madame Roy, and everyone agreed. Think of the smell. And it will spoil the pelt, said Samuel. He trapped for furs and knew what he was talking about. Samuel is a murderer. What if we got a dog, said Alice, the daughter of Samuel and Madame Ross. A dog will bark. Maybe that will scare the skunk out of the oven. If the skunk gets scared, said Adela, think of what it will do. What if we get a piece of meat and tie it to a string, said someone else. The skunk will come out on its own when it smells it. I have no meat, snapped Adela, and if I did, I would surely not waste it on a skunk. So this plan was dropped. No one else cared to use their own meat to lure the skunk out of the oven if Adela wasn't going to use hers. I'd use my meat for the skunk, but that's just me. Oh, woe is me, wailed Adela. But then everyone was getting bored with the question of the skunk, and it did not look as if Adela was going to serve any food or drink for everyone who had come. Soon Felix and his wife remembered that they had to milk the cows. Louis said he must get back to clean the barn, and one by one, everyone found a reason to head home. At this time, Adela saw Jules Martel come into the yard. The young man may be simple-minded, she thought. Still, who else could she turn to for help? Jules said, Jules Martel, there's a skunk in my oven. Can you get him out without scaring him? Jules nodded his head. He walked over to the oven. He opened the door and leaned inside. He spoke in a low voice. No one could tell what he was saying. At last he stepped back. Then the sharp face of the skunk stuck out of the oven doorway. Everyone stepped back a few feet. The skunk wiggled its way over the edge and dropped to the ground. Slowly, the skunk made its way through the yard, holding its head high, and it headed into the woods where it disappeared. Adela was thrilled. All the others were amazed. How did you get him to come out? Said Samuel to Jules. What did you say to it? Someone else said. I just told him, said Jules, swinging his arms back and forth, that if he stayed in the oven anymore, he would begin to smell like Adela's bread, and if that happened, none of the other skunks would come near him. Who would have guessed, Samuel shook his head, that a low creature like a skunk cares about what other creatures like him think of him? I suppose all creatures must have some sense of self-respect, said Alice, no matter who they are. Alice and the others nodded in silence. Oh, that's nice. The skunk didn't want to smell like her bread. What a silly story. I would have just opened the oven and waited for the skunk to get out. Did you guys like the stories that we read today? Wasn't it nice reading stories together? This was a fun, nice, little comfy stream, I think. I had a lot of fun with you guys. Let's see. I'm Okay, what time is it? Oh, yep, just in time. Awesome. So we're gonna go find somebody to raid, but first we're gonna go do our thank yous. So hold on a sec while we get there. Let's see. All right, thank you everybody so much for coming in today. It was a fun foot ASMR. No, there was no foot ASMR. I'm sorry if I disappointed you. This is just comfy, wholesome ASMR stream. I put the kitties to sleep. Oh, thank you everybody for coming in today. Thank you Jimbo for being my mod. Thank you Whimsy Cat, Talvamir, the Tropical Lad, and Creeper Slayer for the follows, and thank you Melly for the resub. It was very nice to have you guys all here. Oh, is Vanessa still live? We are ending a little early today just because ASMR streams are a little bit taxing on my voice because I do have to talk quite a bit softer than I normally talk. I don't want to wear out my voice too much, but we're gonna find somebody real quick to raid here. Give me a sec to find somebody. Is Vanessa live? Is Vanessa live? Let's see here. Hold on, let me look. Oh, Vanessa is live. Okay, so we're gonna raid Vanessa. And when you get in there, make sure to use the raid message, which as always is Trash Panda Army Raid. And if you're a subscriber, you can use the raid emote. Or you can use Rack Attack if you don't want to use the raid emote. If you don't have a sub, you know. But yeah, just copy and paste that in there. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you again for coming. I will be back probably on Monday. We'll be drawing some more art on Monday. But I'll see you all then. Hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.